Yes, people, welcome back to AFTV. Welcome back to another AFTV Live with myself, Cecil G, and I've got Laurie with me. Laurie, you good?
Where you at?
I'm there. I'm still living life lavishly.
How are you?
Yes. Well, look at you giving schooling them. No, I'm living life lavishly right now. I'm very happy. Last night was a long night, to be fair, but a very good one. A 4-0. We are going to start with a little recap of yesterday and what you took from the game, obviously, from being in the studio and watching it on the TV, and what I kind of saw. Because there's a lot of things I saw at the ground. Like there's a lot of criticism on Jorginho and saying, you know, he wasn't that great, but for me, I didn't think he was that bad.
Criticism?
Yeah, there was a lot. Everyone kind of highlighted when Partey come on, there was a huge difference, a big change in the team and in the performance and the levels. But for me, yes, it went up a tiny bit, but I didn't think the way people were addressing it was like it was a drastic change. It was needed. Like he was playing terribly, so he had to come off. I didn't see that, in my opinion, anyway.
Harsh,
yeah, I thought that as well. I mean,
but don't get me wrong, there was an upsurge when Partey came on. But, you know, that's why Partey's in the team.
Exactly.
He's our number one midfielder right now. So
Exactly that. Now, before we go into the recap, just quickly, I want to let you guys know, plenty of shows out today. Invincible Podcast is already out. Go check that out. Robbie and Lee, make sure you go check it out. Tactical Insight is out tonight as well with James and Graham. So have a little watch of that. Obviously, the breakdown of what happened yesterday's game, the 4-0 win. Indulge in that. Get to understand the mechanics of how, you know, Arsenal broke down Everton.
And shout out to Graham, man, because Graham always messages me privately. We watch each other's shows and we feed off each other like that.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't know that, man. But Graham is a keen watcher of the Talk is Cheap show.
Man, the older generation linking up.
Gives me a few pointers there and there, and likewise me and him. So yeah.
Rah, that conversation, vintage conversations. No, I didn't know that.
Not a lot of people know that, but yeah, we have that relationship.
Rah. Maybe you should have a show. Maybe Talk is expensive or Talk is. talk is tactics.
Talk is insightful.
That'll be a good show.
Hey, you know what? I might have to run that one by Robbie, man. Hey, Robbie, if you're listening, man.
Talk is insightful, yeah.
Talk is insightful. Insightful talk.
Insightful talk. All right, let's get into quickly. Let's get into obviously today's breakdown of the show. So what we're going to talk about, obviously, Everton, the game yesterday. Only a little bit. We'll keep it brief because obviously you could probably indulge in all the content from yesterday. Title hopes. Title hopes is going to be a big one.
Title is ours to lose. And we shall expand upon that later.
We will get into that as well. That's going to be a lot of Laurie's subject there. And then Jesus, injury update, injury boost. I'll give you all what I know and what has been released thus far on that and other injuries as well. And then we may discuss the save of the month, which was voted to Aaron Ramsdale against Villa. And then maybe we'll talk about some of the players that have been flying through the past month in February. But anyway, let's get into Everton yesterday. Let's start with belief. The belief now for you for the title hopes. You just said there, it's ours to lose. Today, Robbie came in the office and he asked every single one of us, every single one of us, do you think we're going to win the league? And everyone said yes. Everyone. Now, I know this could be a potential clippable moment. Of course it could. We're at risk of that all the time.
Don't worry about them clippable moments, man. Speak your truth.
Brother, I'm a man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's loud and positive and you know my thing.
Don't worry about clips.
No, of course not.
We all know that in sport, you know what I mean? That's why we love sport, the drama of it. Anything can happen. You heard of Devon Lock? You probably wouldn't have heard of Devon Lock because you're too young. But back in the day, in a racehorse in the Grand National, famously was leading and fell with a couple of fences to go. So these things do happen in sport. However, I was watching Robbie's fan cam yesterday and he made a number of good points, which is unusual for him.
Yeah, it is unusual. Very unusual.
Joking.
We're playing.
No, but Robbie was saying that he was very confident that we're going to win the title. And one of the reasons that he put forward for that was he said, listen, quite simply, we've got a better team than we've had in previous years.
But that doesn't always mean you go and win the title. But having the best team in the league, footballing wise, doesn't always mean you go and win the title. I think this is what Gary Neville was trying to say to him. It wasn't even him. I think it was Boovy saying that, you know, it's not always that. There's mentality, there's experience, and that there's experienced winners in Man City's side. So it's not always that. But it's gone. Carry on though. That is one of the good points.
One of the points Robbie was making, and I absolutely endorse what he was saying, is that if you look at the characters in the team. So, for example, last year when we made that run for the top four, and it looked to all intents and purposes that we were going to get there, and then we imploded in a matter of days. I think we lost to Tottenham and Newcastle, and you know what I mean. Just things went awry very quickly. Robbie's saying, and I believe him, that the characters that the manager's been able to assemble now is very different to what it was previously. added to that, you just got a better quality of player, full stop. And listen, man, yesterday's game for me was quite poignant because that was our game in hand. Yeah, we won that game comfortably in the end. Okay, you could argue that the first 40 minutes we weren't at our best, but you know, football's a 90-minute game last time I checked. So you don't have to be the best team in the first half.
Yeah.
And we scored 2 goals at the end of that half. And from we got those goals, bro, I'm not going to lie, to me, that was it. Yeah. And I said that on the stream as well last night when I did the watch along with the guys here. So we end up winning 4-0, game in hand taken care of. We are now 5 points clear, and we're in a very, very good position. Yes, there's 13 games to go, but listen, City. Okay, look at it like this: we've got to lose 2 more games really than City for them to overtake.
Yeah,
us
5 points clear.
So, really and truly, it is in our hands. It's ours to lose.
But people's argument is it's too early to say that, Laurie. Like, can you not admit that? Like, it's still early. It's still.
It is. I don't think it is, bro, because the way we're playing right now, the vibes and everything else. Listen, I'm not saying it's impossible that we could.
Oh, it's definitely not impossible. We saw, like, again, you mentioned it last season, we threw away the top 4, and there's still games left. We saw it go to City away, Liverpool away, Newcastle away.
We have it in our control. Yeah.
Kevin says here, I'm not happy with Laurie's comments, saying it's ours to lose and that it would be a letdown let me finish the comment. Let me land it. He says, and it would be a letdown if we fail. Still 39 possible points left. 5-point lead is nothing against Man City. Allow the pressure. So
it's nothing. What do you mean it's nothing? It's 5 points.
Okay. But I think that's Kevin's saying. Listen, 5 points is not. It's not masses of points lead. Like we had a bigger lead earlier. I mean, we had a bigger lead before, and they caught back up.
20. You know what I mean? Like, no. Listen, I'm not saying it from a position of arrogance. We're saying this from a position of strength. That's 2 quite different entities. You know what I mean? I'm not saying we're going to win the league. I want people to understand that. What I'm saying is, in the position that we are in now, we should go on to win it. Yeah.
Sadiq agrees with you. I agree with Laurie. If we get 10 wins out of the 13 remaining games, we will win the league. City will also drop points. And then, then the next comment is M Smiley. M Smiley says 2 games turnaround. Calm down, Laurie.
No, but listen. Are City going to drop points? Yes.
Yes.
Are we going to drop points? Yes. But it's a question of we've got to drop less points than they have. We are in a much better position than them. We should embrace the fact that we're in the lead. We're playing well. The vibes are good. We're going to talk about it a bit later. One of our best players, one of the guys that's been a catalyst for where we are right now, is due to return. That's going to give us an unbelievable boost.
A massive push. Let me.
Robbie said yesterday, the team. You look at the team. It's the best team in the Premier League at the moment. The league doesn't lie. 25 games into the table and we are 5 points clear. Surely that stands for something. We are not there by luck. We are there by our own hard work.
Well done, yeah. Best in the world 13 times says Cecil ain't afraid. This is the same guy that printed the Premier League table in December on the shirt, and obviously that wasn't because
talking about me.
No, I still think there's long left in the season, long enough to say that, you know, it's not ours to lose. I don't want to say that, but I am confident we'll win the league, and there's a few reasons behind that. And I'm going to go through some of the things that made me listen. I believed a long time ago. I believed one kind of at Christmas, but I didn't make the shirt because of that. But I also believed after beating Man United at home, that was a telling point sign for me, because the way we came back and we won 3-2. Tottenham away, that doesn't happen. But we dominated that game. Yes, and that made me realise, okay, there's omens that are getting rectified here when it comes to Arsenal. Again, there's little things I see when I speak with a guy, when I do the fan cams with him, there's little things in the team I see from a winning tide with winning mentality, the way the defenders love to defend. Now, I get defenders are supposed to do that, but there's little things where they're celebrating blocks and last minute tackles off the line, and the way they're doing it is there's full emotion and passion in that. You don't really see things like that. The way they set their own standards, I see Thomas Partey and Martin Odegaard screaming at people as they're running back to get in shape. Aaron Ramsdale, another thing, now this is something that's a bit left. Luckily for the role I'm in and the connections I have within the game, I speak to a lot of footballers. Danny Simpson obviously came on the show recently. You guys check out the live if you haven't. But also in an interview he did with Under the Cosh, he said when they won the Premier League, Leicester City, the season they won it, He made a challenge.
2016. Right?
Correct, 2015-2016 season. He made a challenge. Mark Clattenburg was a referee. He gave me a yellow card, yeah? He went up to Danny and said, I should give you a red card, but I want you to win the league.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if Danny's going to be happy with me saying that. It is online to be seen. You can check out the podcast that it is, Under the Cosh. But those little things there, and when I spoke with Danny this weekend, he was saying how well we are. What he says, when you go on a run and a momentum, and he believes, he said, and what we need to see from the fan base, he goes, he believes, is the fans need to believe as well. And I feel like the feeling I got yesterday, speaking with the fans, everyone is believing that this is it, and that just transcends. I know Arteta always talks about the light bulb moment and the energy transmitting and come on guys, all of that, but it's a real thing, and you can see it, and it pushes the team in the right way. We got a great run coming up. We just played Everton. The next 4 games: Bournemouth, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Leeds United. Difficult games, yes, but on paper we should be winning those games.
Exactly. So my question to you is, what have I said that's any different from what you've just articulated there? What's the difference?
I hear it. When you spin it like that, I hear it.
You know what I mean?
But
there's no difference, bro.
No, but I feel like, I think the people in the comments, I know we're getting super chats now as well. Keep commenting, guys. We'll get you involved as much as possible. I think they're saying is that we're
under the
radar. It seems like what you're saying is we're implying a load of pressure in the way you're phrasing it, like it's ours to lose. The same thing of last season. It's in our hands. We've got this game in hands. It's in our hands to get top. That became like a trend of conversation. And listen, pressure comes with the sport you play. Football is highly pressured. So I don't want to use this as an excuse for players, but it's.
But let me ask you a question. When you see the way Arsenal are performing, do you see them being affected by pressure adversely? I mean, everybody. Pressure will take account of a lot of things. It will affect people. But do you see Arsenal being adversely affected by
No. The pressure. It's not pressure I feel will adversely mess up Arsenal. No. It's the Europa League games. Is what is my next hurdle. Every month. There's a hurdle that everyone throws in, that Arsenal can't win the league because of this, the World Cup in between, injuries to key players, loads of things, illness and all those little things. Those are factors that might happen. Yeah. I don't think you can really just extrapolate. But pressure is a thing.
We can't be confident because you never know with injuries. We don't know if that's going to happen or not.
No.
And dare I say it, we have been adversely affected by injury, and to be fair, it's not really affected our title chances, has it? Because to be fair to the team, they've suffered an injury to one of their main players, to one of their mainstays.
Yeah.
And yet here we are, as we sit here today, 5 points clear, with 13 games to go, sitting pretty at the top of the table, about to welcome the said player back.
Yeah. So,
you mentioned injuries.
Do you want to get into it? We'll get into the injuries and we will overcome it. But let me just quickly read the super chats. Gurmet with a super chat says, "Can you please give a massive shout out to Rishi Sharma?" Jared Dickinson says,
Rishi Sooner.
You want to shout him out? You want to shout out Rishi Schumer?
There's no point in shouting.
Jared says with a super chat, thank you very much for your super chat, says 13 games left, we only play outside London, 4 of them. London 4 of them. Sorry, let me read that again. 13 games left, we only play outside London, 4 of them. Okay. I believe that one. Let me see, that's at Man City, Liverpool away, Newcastle away. I can't think of the other one. But yeah, okay, fair enough. Thank you very much for that super chat. Right, we're going to go into...
Let me just say, right?
Go on.
In answer to some of those people who have put their requests, and listen, I understand what they're saying. They're basically saying, don't speak too soon. And I can understand some caution. However, I would counter that by saying this. So far, every challenge that's been presented to us, invariably we've come out on top.
Correct.
We are currently sitting 5 points clear at the top of the table with 13 games to go. So we're well through the season now. We're sort of heading into that home stretch.
Yeah, the last third. We're coming up to the last third.
I think that what we need to be doing is support the team.
Correct.
And embrace the fact that we are top of the table and we are favourites for the title.
Are people scared to get egg in their face though to injure?
Yeah, I'm sensing a degree of fear, for want of a better word. Some people are a bit in some trepidation that, you know what I mean, being the favourites.
But is it justified though? Is it justified? Because the PTSD though, Laurie, of being an Arsenal fan.
Don't let the fear of failure consume you. Embrace the fact that we are top of the table and we're playing well.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So there's much to be optimistic about. Don't be cocoon yourself into this, but, you know, if we get an injury here or if we play in the Europa League, you know what I mean? No, man. You know what I mean? That's not what champions are about. Champions are about embracing the fact that they're on top and pushing on and achieving even more. Say it with your chest.
No, I hear that, and I think that's what Danny was saying to me as well. He's saying like, you got to really believe, because when the players feel it, they really do. And I've played, and you can understand when the crowd are behind you and they really feel a sense of buzz and belief. You really do feel it, and I think the little things we've overcome. Obviously, the 4-2 against Villa. A lot of people go to that. They say that is a sign of champions. It's a big turnaround from could have been 2-2, could have been 2-1, but we changed that. But then we went and did a 1-0 win against Leicester away again. Our away form, by the way, has been superb. I've been enjoying going to loving their away games. But that 1-0 was a assured performance. Again, it was a sign of champions. Didn't concede. And dictated the game. Same again at home yesterday. We dominated, dictated, and there is a sign of comfortability and reassurance from the players and us, and even like the likes of Saka, just becoming a big game player. Let me be honest, he's always been a big game player, but people that don't watch Arsenal regularly will know that won't see him as a big game player, but he gets us out of a lot of trouble. He gets the first goals. He's been our main attacking outlet. Even the cheekiness of him holding the corner flag, the Thierry, I know he's done that twice now, but to him to think, do you know what? Nah, I'm that guy here. I'm that guy. Let me be that guy. It's doing the Thierry example. I love that. But let's go into some of the injuries, because we have alluded for quite a bit about Everton. We've gone back and spoke about the game quite a bit, and we have alluded about injuries. So it's time to get into it. Just to give everyone a brief update. So we know El Nenny's out with an injury. I don't know. Well, I'm sure many of you know he's out until they're saying the end of the season. Probably won't see him again. I think it's a knee injury. I should have that in my notes.
But a winner's medal will, I'm sure.
Oh. That would be very. He does you don't say that sarcastically. He deserves.
Of course he does.
He deserves one. Yeah. Longest serving Arsenal player as well. He will be with his new contract extension. Emil Smith.
No one deserves it more, arguably. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Xhaka can be in for a shout, but El Nenny's definitely up there. Let's go into obviously Emil Smith Rowe as well. He's returned from injury. Saw him feature yesterday. Good to see him come on.
And I'm confident that as the weeks go on, you will see him improve on the pitch. And if he can hit the heights of what he was hitting last year, then even better. So I'm encouraged by that. Great to see. Hopefully see him back in the Europa League games. As much as he can probably field a good performance in the Premier League, I think the best way would be easing him in the Europa League games coming next Thursday, next week. Right, and then obviously the main talking topic, Gabriel Jesus, people. And before I get into it, I know I keep saying before that, let me just read the super chats from Paul Surin says, for your information, we have never been over 80 points since 2008. We have 60 after 25 games. Even 90 points might not win us the league this year. We had 69 points last year, 61 the year before, and 56 the season before. He then goes on and follows the saying in the chat saying, so we should believe and be proud of the team. Whatever happens after the 38th game, this team is progressing well and has some depth. No, he's absolutely right when he says that, because I've got to be honest with you, at the start of the season, I could not have foreseen what I'm seeing now.
Yeah, agreed.
My ambitions for this season was to get into the top 4. And as I said earlier, we find ourselves 25 games in, top of the table, by 5 points, looking down on the likes of Man City and Man United. So listen, man, these are very good times, and we should do our best to, absolutely make the most of it.
Yeah, big up Paul for that super chat, by the way. That's some good insight there. Since 2008, we've never been over 80 points. Lord Jesus. But to be fair, we haven't been in the top 4 in a very, very long time as well. I haven't had that Champions League music in way too long. But I can't wait for that to hopefully, I'm not even going to jinx it. No, it should return. I mean, if we fall out the top 4, that is a humongous disappointment.
Like
no, we're not. I know. I'm just saying if. Look, I know it's gonna happen.
This is what I'm saying.
No, don't do that. Don't do that because I'm the guy that doesn't. I don't do that. But anyway,
talking negative.
All right, I'm not that guy. Amar Nail says, I pray with a super chat. Thank you very much. I pray we increase our lead to 10 to 12 points before we play City in April, which is a real possibility, seeing how City aren't as strong in the previous years. SK with a super chat says, we've already reached our top 4 goal, so enjoy. Now, this is where...
You know what? The fact is, we do not have to beat City when we play. That's the beauty of...
No. You can't say that now.
No, what I'm saying is, the fact that we're 5 points clear, and the fact that, let's be honest, we've got some games coming up that on paper are winnable. Yeah, I'm not going to say they're easy games because there's very few, if any, easy games in the Premier League, right? But we're going through a phase now where there are games presented to us that we should win.
Yep.
Right. So what I'm saying is, by the time we play City, if things go the way I think they go, I don't think we have to beat City to win the title. That's not to say we want to go up there and lose. I'm not saying that, you know what I mean, we throw that game away or we don't care about that game. That is just a fact. We don't have to beat City to win the league.
Yeah.
That in itself puts us in a very strong position.
Okay. Can I just get in production? They're saying about the sound from Laurie's mic. Is it clear? Please just let me know. People keep saying we can't hear Laurie. Turn up his mic. Hopefully you guys can hear Laurie because he's making some really good points. But yeah, we have already reached top 4 goals. So enjoy. Says SK with the super chat. I mentioned earlier. I think obviously some people have an opinion on that, saying yeah, but look where we are. You can't now just say the top 4. But I am kind of with that. If we don't win the league this season, I'm not going to be pulling my hair out and going crazy at the manager. I'm
going to be honest with you, man. If we do not win the title, me personally, I can only speak for myself. Whilst I will absolutely take, you know, being in the Champions League, being in the top 4, there will be a palpable sense of disappointment for me.
Of course there will. Initially, of course there will. But you're not going to hold feelings for till all the way until then and say like, it's a bottle job considering what happened last season.
We're not trying not to even think like that.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? But what I can tell you is there will be immense disappointment because I honestly do believe that the title is there for the taking.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is.
So why wouldn't I be upset or disappointed if we don't get it? You know what I mean?
I hear that.
I think we're capable of doing it.
I hear that. Shref says with a super chat, Laurie got a great voice. Those have listened to him. Talking Sheep can be renamed Good Night Gooners. Oh, don't be having that. Cecil, hope he does samba dance for real. Jay Zeus, and hopefully great to see Cecil. Hope he does a samba dance for real. Jay Zeus. Listen, he'll be back soon. I'll be dancing. If we win the league, Lord knows the content. I don't even want to. Honestly, Queen Robbie. With a super chat, weird display picture of Robbie oh my days. Anyway, let's go into this. The goal is not top 4 anymore. We're in a great position to win the Premier League and should expect to win it. This fan base accepts mediocrity too much. So I did say SK that there'll be people on the other side saying no. Top 4 is not now the target, and they wouldn't be accepting that because of the position we're in. So I've had it from both sides. I spoke to many fans. They say that we have to now raise our standards and expect, you know, Arsenal to push them to win the league, and you should be expecting that from this season and from the position we're in. Me, yes, that is the main thing. I'll have a sad feeling if we don't, but if we get second, it is what it is.
Some fans, right? And with respect, since I'm kind of sensing a little bit of that from yourself today, is that whilst deep down you do think that we should go and win the title,
yep,
you do have this kind of latent fear of expressing it because you're worried, A, about what other fans think, and B, you don't want to consume yourself with the fear of failure. And I'm trying to say,
bro,
free up that sense of failure and concentrate on winning the title.
Bro, I printed a top with the Premier League table at Christmas. I have no shame. I have no fear to say right that we're gonna. I've got no. You cheeky fucker, you. No, I have no shame. I have no shame in the fact that I believe Arsenal will go and win the league. I will be if we don't. Of course, that initial, feeling and pain is going to be it's going to be very painful. It's going to be very loud as well. My phone will be going crazy. It's going to be a lot I have to take, but I'm not going to go mad at the manager and be like, look, we need a whole recheck. I'm not going to be on that. I'm going to be proud of the
that
team.
would just be pure reactionary nonsense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
100%.
So we're not going to go down that road.
100%.
Listen, I'm trying to be positive. Some might say I'm being overly positive.
No, I don't
some
think you
might
are.
even say I'm being arrogant, but I fear not. I think we should embrace it. Like I said, I think it's not like half the season has gone, you know. It's 25 games now.
It's a lot.
You know what I mean? And we've been presented with challenges and we've overcome them. So that gives me confidence.
Yeah.
And when I see the way the team is playing at the moment, when I see, you described it earlier, the togetherness, the vibe, the fans, you know what I mean?
Crazy.
Everyone's working together to achieve this one goal. And I think it's within touching distance. And I think if things carry on the way they're going, I can see no other result other than us winning.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So clearly, if we go and lose that next 2 or 3, then things change again. But at the moment, what I'm seeing is positivity, and I want to feed off that.
Love that. I like
You know what I mean?
that.
So that's what I'm talking about.
That makes me very happy. Right, we've gone halfway through the show. Jesus, injury. He posted an Instagram post up on his Instagram, social media, of him saying they are step by step. You can see in there with a ball. That's off his official account there, training. I mean, he's probably by himself there, so it might be individual training. I'm assuming that because I don't see any players around him or any coaches, so there might be individual training. But him there, taking a touch of the ball, he's working with the ball, which is good. His knee's up high, which means that's the injury they had to his knee. So I'm positive that there's going to be a return for Gabriel Jesus soon. Now, the rumours are before the international break. He'll return before then. The international break, I believe, is in March the 25th, so it's the end of this month. So they're expecting to be back before then. Now, that opens up a whole load of talking topics. People in the comments, people listening, people watching, Laurie as well to my right. Does Gabriel Jesus go straight back in? Do you drop whoever's playing there? Obviously, Eddie Nketiah has been rotated out of the side for Trossard of recent. Eddie Nketiah was seen limping off the pitch yesterday against Everton, but Mikel Arteta did try and clear up by saying there's nothing wrong with him, it's only minor. But once Gabriel Jesus is fit and available, does Trossard lose his spot? Does he go straight in? Do you ease him back in the cup games? Does he start off in Europa League, or do you bring him straight back in maybe one of the easier fixtures that we have? I know no game's easy in the Premier League before everyone gets to me, but one of the easier fixtures that we have in March, do you ease him back in then? In a Premier League game, or do you put him in the cup game? Let's just get this conversation going. Gabriel Jesus to return soon.
Well, the first thing I want to say, it's great to see that he's training, running, on the verge of a comeback, seemingly. But I think it's important that we don't rush him back. Because let's face it, we don't have to rush him back, do we? We're doing fine at the moment. So you don't want to rush the guy back and then he relapses and then all of a sudden he's out for another 2, 3, 4 weeks. So we don't want that. He's got to be carefully nurtured, brought on. This whole thing about resting and playing, I'm not so sure about that. Listen, if he's good to go, he's good to go, no matter what game it is. It could be that when they bring him back, he doesn't start the game.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Right.
They bring him on at a certain point within the game, depending on how the game's playing out. So yeah, I mean, listen, can't wait to have him back, but I think it's important that we don't rush him back for the reasons I just explained.
Yeah, you don't want to see him relapse. I mean, remember when Arteta tried to bring back Thomas Partey and pushed him back on after an injury, after he went off to the sideline. I mean...
And let's face it, Sizzle, we don't have to rush him back, because the facts are, and these are facts, we are doing well without him. And that's not to minimise what he's done for the team and what he brings to the team. The facts is that when he got injured, a lot of people said, oh, that's it, Arsenal's title challenge now is will waver now that he's not there. Well, that's not happened, has it?
Yeah.
So what that has proven is that we are a force to be reckoned with without him in the team. Obviously, having him back is a big boost and he will enhance the side once he's back. But like I said, you don't want to force him back in and then he relapses and we're missing him again for what could be the last 2, 3, 4 crucial games of the season.
Definitely. Chris with a comment says, ease him in 2-3 games, League/Europa for 15-20 minutes. Hole Up says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's referring to the lineup there. Victor says, Jesus should gradually be brought back in. You You know all of that. No conversation here. Jules says, "Come on, Cecil. Of course he does not go straight in. He will not have the match fitness to jump straight in. He will play some under-21s games. He should come back after international break for the run-in." So people obviously they're kind of poo-pooing the question, which I get it, but I don't get it, because obviously when Partey was injured and Jorginho, when Partey was injured but then became back fit and available, people were saying get Partey straight back in. There was a whole show, we did ask some fans about it. So there's definitely a conversation here. I don't know if he'll play the under-21s games. He'll definitely be eased back in. Whether Arteta decides to do that at the Europa League game or Premier League game, I think maybe.
Well, the first thing to acknowledge is that every player is different, aren't they? So we don't know how he's going to respond to the rigours of a match day. You know what I mean? That's something we can only wait and see. But he does look a young, fit, strong lad, so I'm pretty sure he'll be okay. The good thing about Arsenal at the moment is that we are getting goals from all over the pitch.
Definitely.
I mean, Martinelli's on a little goal-scoring run. I think, what did he get, 2 the other night? That's 4 in 3 games now. I think it's the first time since he's been at Arsenal that he'd hit 3 goals in consecutive games.
Martinelli you're talking about, yeah? Yeah, correct, that's correct, yeah.
So, and Saka, we spoke of earlier, he's been phenomenal this season. He's got 10 goals, you know what I mean? Odegaard's chipping in with his fair share. He must have about 7, 8, 9. Eddie's not got that many. He's got 4, but he's getting opportunities, which is important. So, like I said, we're getting goals from all round the team, which is good. I mean, I've seen Man City teams in previous years, of which Gabriel Jesus has been a part of that same team.
Yeah.
They didn't have a prolific number 9. But they were still winning titles because they were getting goals from all over the pitch. And we're adopting a similar type of method in our title charge. So, and it also has to be said, I mean, Gabriel Jesus, I think he's got 5 Premier League goals. He's not the most prolific, but it's what he brings to the So, you know.
I wonder what the order is for Mikel Arteta. I wonder what his order is, like in the scenario he's in right now. What is his order of like striker options? We've always wanted competition in this position. Will it go Jesus, Trossard, Eddie, or would it go Eddie, Trossard, Jesus?
What do you mean, like a hierarchy of strikers?
Yeah,
I would imagine Jesus, a fully fit Jesus.
No, but we're not doing a fully. I don't want to do fully fit. I want to do this conundrum that Mikel Arteta has right now. Once he's available, so he's coming back into fitness. Who does he start? Is the pecking order the same? Would it be Trossard, who's favorited of recent? Then Eddie, then Jesus, or would you put like? I'll be intrigued to know the 3, or what you guys thinking.
It's a good question.
Because people are saying obviously he has to take time to integrate him back in, but it's like, okay, that's fine.
No, but that's just a natural law of physics. You cannot expect Gabriel Jesus to rock up.
Of course
not so much walk back into the team, to be at his physical best after coming back from injury and trying to adapt to the pace and the intensity of the Premier League. That's just not going to happen. It's going to take him a few games to get up to speed. Yeah. So that's why I was saying a fully fit Jesus would, in my opinion, be top of that hierarchy. With maybe Trossard just edging it ahead of Eddie. But then it very much depends on form, doesn't it? Because
that's what
at the moment you would have to say that Trossard is in pole position. Because, you know, he's played very well for the last couple of games when Eddie was, let's face it, he was dropped. Some people said rested. I don't go along with that. He was dropped. But listen, there's no shame to being dropped, especially in a team that's challenging for the title, because that competition for places is what's driving the team forward, you see. Because players know that if they're slightly off it, there's a good chance they might be left out. You saw what happened to Martinelli, didn't you? A few weeks ago, people was questioning some of his performances. They were never questioning his effort, I might add. I want to make that clear. Same with Eddie. It's not the effort. It's just that so much is expected of these guys. If you drop below a certain level and you're not quite scoring, the manager will look at that and think, how can I address that?
Yeah, 100%.
So Martinelli was left out.
And he bounced back superbly.
Exactly. And Eddie will be looking to do the same thing.
And I believe he will do that. JV says at the moment it goes Trossard, Eddie, then Jesus. I've got some other ones here as well. Glasgow Ringpass says Jesus first, Saka, and then Trossard. Saka wasn't in it, but okay, thank you very much. Was it in the 3? But it's okay. M Smiley says Trossard, Jesus, then Eddie Low. I think Trossard is kind of holding that front line shirt quite tightly. I think he's been great. But like you said there, I think Eddie will bounce back once he's ready, and Jesus will be integrated in. What game would you feel be the, because he's not, you said he wouldn't start him, but what game if you were to start him, would he be building for the March run? Sorry, not the March run, the April one, which is Man City away. We got in there. They got the Liverpool away. Do you think we're going to need Jesus for that? Should there be enough prep for
my
that?
Simple answer to that question is we need him back as soon as possible.
Right.
However, I did also say that I don't want to see him rush back.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we have
a
a very advanced technical team at Arsenal, as most Premier League clubs do. I'm sure that Gabriel Jesus will be assessed and reassessed and reassessed. You know
100%,
what I mean?
100%.
So, that will all be taken care of. So I would imagine that by the time he comes back, he will be fit enough to play. As I said, it's whether he can reach those levels.
Yeah.
And how long it will take him to reach those levels. Because I think it's unfair to think that he can just come into the team and straight away he's going to...
So, all right, cool. Do you know what I'm going to do? My estimate, guesstimate, shall we say, for when Jesus is back in the squad will be the home fixture against Sporting Lisbon.
It's a few weeks' time.
Him starting. I know it's a big shout. I would love to see that. That's why as well. So
but why you got to put a date on that, bro?
I don't have to. I just feel like that is a good game to listen. I think next week we play Sporting Lisbon away. I think we get the job done. No matter who it's going to be a tough game. I'm not. Me and Laurie did a live when we did the draw. I'm not going to disrespect Lisbon. It's going to be a tough game. It's not going to be a simple win, in my opinion. But I think we get the job done away. We tick that off, and then we're comfortable when they come to play the home fixture, which I think will be the perfect time to get Jesus back in. So I think that'll be the game, and that's on the 16th of March. So that's before, again, the international break, which they've mentioned. And it's a home game. It's a Europa League tie, which I think might be done by that time. And having him in the side will just bring, the crowd, everyone together.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'll be a perfect game to integrate him back in. Whether he'll obviously not play the whole game, but definitely I think that'll be the perfect game for him to come.
But we do have attacking options.
Oh, 100%.
And they are doing well.
Yeah, and you can rotate thoroughly through them.
And we are scoring goals from different areas of the pitch. Mm-hmm. As I said before, Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, Eddie, Xhaka, you know what I mean? Guys are waiting. Jorginho scored, you know what I mean? So we are getting goals from other areas of the pitch, which is encouraging.
Very true. Sebastian says currently Trossard, then Eddie, then Jesus. But if 100% fit, he goes Jesus, Trossard, and then Eddie. And there's a comment here. I like this comment here. Sorry, Stephen Bolger says, "Watch Jesus score a hat trick on his first game back." And the reason why I like that comment, is because when you're injured, I'm not saying he listens to this podcast or anything, or not in podcasts, these shows or whatnot. But when you're injured, you have a lot of time to listen to content, look at what people are saying, and he probably's heard people saying he's not a natural goal, not a natural goal scorer, but he hasn't scored a lot of goals. Eddie's come in and scored goals. Trossard's come in, obviously added to the goals. So he's probably thinking, watch when I come back.
Gabriel Jesus, if you're watching this, you are the greatest striker that's ever lived. I said that, yeah.
No, I just know that a lot of players they got their ears to what's going on, especially when they're not playing. They'll be keeping an eye on a lot of things. And
listen, when he comes back, he will be super motivated.
100%.
And the vibe around him will be incredible. You can imagine the reception he'll get from the fans, the rest of the playing staff, everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody will be willing him on. So he will come in full of energy and vibes, yeah?
Yeah, no, I agree.
But as I said before, I want to caution against people rushing him back too quick and being too expectant of him too quick. Because listen, we all know, man, the Premier League is a very intense and demanding and physical and fast.
But he does have to get on the train, though. I know it sounds harsh, but he's gonna have to get involved straight away. I know you're saying give him time and that, but he's gonna be back in the probably most important time of the season. Yeah. So if he's dropping stinkers now, I don't expect.
Yeah, but why are you?
I knew he was going to do that.
Why are you?
I knew he was going to. Listen,
see, this is what I'm saying about man. Like, why are you talking about stinkers?
No, but you have to.
When did he have a stinker before?
He didn't. But that's why I'm saying he has to understand that like you have to come and hit the
But
ground.
you think you don't know that?
Yes, okay. Well, I'm making sure because I'm just making sure that they're aware that the team's in the best position to win the Premier League title. Trossard come in when we're supposed to get Mudryk, and we didn't know much about Mudryk in the Premier League. But Trossard come in and hit the ground running. It's been a big factor.
I could argue easily a counter argument to what you've just said.
Go on.
This is the best possible time for him to come back.
At
a time like this when we're playing so well and the vibes are so elevated, this now is the right time for him to come back.
But he has to do. Yeah, but he's got to do well though.
But what I'm saying, this is the perfect foil.
I mean, the time when was going on an unbeatable run would have been the perfect foil.
Because what you don't want him to do is come back into a team that A is not performing that well, B is under.
But we haven't been doing that all season. We haven't been performing not well all season. But there's been one small blip of that.
We've had a little blips, but every time we've recovered. This is what I was saying earlier about when challenges have been presented to this team. The thing that's impressed me about them is that they've bounced back very quickly. So, for example, there was palpable disappointment after the Brentford game.
Yeah.
We bounced back. Even going back before that when we played Everton, we've managed, when we lost to Everton, we steadily bounced back. And now here we are.
I just want, but he just has to, I hear
so
what
I'm saying is, if he was to come back into the team, say hypothetically speaking, they announced that he's fit for this weekend's game against Bournemouth. He's coming into the team at a perfect time.
He has to be 100% ready. Like you said.
No, he doesn't have to be 100% ready.
Laurie.
No, he don't.
Maybe not against Bournemouth, but he does. This is the business end. This is the most important time of the season. He's going to have a lot of pressure to come back into. I feel like, and we're doing fine. We're doing fine without him. I'll be honest.
What would you prefer him to come back into? Into a team that is winning, scoring goals, keeping clean sheets, 5 points clear at the top of the table, or you come back where we're faltering a little bit and there's a lot of pressure on, and there's that pressure on Jesus that he's got to come in and score.
No, because there's pressure on him coming. It's not going to work like this because this is hypotheticals. But Arteta's, if he comes in and we're scoring and we're doing all fine, but when he comes in and then we don't start scoring and we're not doing all fine, people are going to be like, bro, why did you rush him in? They'll be having that argument. They'll be like, why are you rushing him in? Why are we using him? Why don't we just stick to what we was winning before? Why change it if it's not broken? So
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So there's less pressure. There's pressure. But there's less pressure him coming in at a time like this than had he have been coming in when we need him to score or we're desperate for a result. I wouldn't say, I don't want to use the word calm, but you know what I'm saying. We are in a good position right now. So
it does
we
depend
can
when
afford to ease him in somewhat.
Yeah, ease him in. Okay.
Yeah, where we're not having to rush it back and say, listen, we got to get him in, man, because if we don't score, you know what I mean? We are in a position of strength, and that's always the best time in which to assimilate players, when you're in a position of strength.
Okay. Thank you. That was good. That was a good talk. That was a good conversation.
Listen, man, I should be giving motivational speeches. If you want to book me, I can come and chat to your businesses.
That phone ain't ringing. All right, let me just read through some of the super chats. Shref with super chat says, "Say it with chest, you
Absolutely.
both. We're gonna win the league. Say it with chest."
I honestly do believe that. I mean, listen, there have been times back in the season where you think to yourself, "Oh, can we do it? Can we do it?" You know what I mean? Because as I said earlier, we weren't really expecting this. But now that we're here, and you see, what I'm trying to get at is we have 25 games in, we have proven ourselves. The league don't lie. Robbie said this the other day. 25 games in, and we are top. We are top for a reason. We're not just top on goal difference and because we played more games than everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We are top by 5 points. That's quite significant. That means we can afford to drop a few points and still win the title.
Why are you talking like that, man? Why are you being negative?
I'm contextualizing. Hey, listen, you're trying to steal my thunder. I've been a positive one. You've been the one with the glass half empty. You know what I mean? So don't start that, bro.
That's never me.
But yeah, I'm trying to contextualize it. But listen, as Robbie said the other day, I was watching his fan cam. He made a number of good points. We are here for a reason. The reason being is we're top of the table. We are the best team in the league so far, and I see no reason why that can't continue.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and Shref, just to answer you, we're going to win the league. Okay. But that's super chat. Paul Surin says, knowing Arteta, Jesus needs to earn his place, and that is kind of a theme. with Arteta this season. He's saying, yeah, the players do need to earn their right to be in that starting 11. I mean, everyone's going to want to be playing at this time.
Of course,
I love, you know, when your team's flying. There you go.
You know what I mean?
I was at the game yesterday and I was thinking, I was watching. Exactly. I wish I was playing. I wish I didn't stop playing football just a little bit. I wish I went a little bit longer just to get a bit more, you know, hopefully, I hope more accolades. But
everyone's excited, man. Yeah, from the players to the playing staff to the fans, everyone's excited. So that's what I'm saying. The mood is so strong right now.
It's amazing.
And I reckon that wave will carry us along.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that we might not drop the odd point here and there, lose the odd game here and there, but ultimately, I think we're going to go on and win it.
Yeah. Queen Robbie, we're back with a super chat, says Trossard first, then Jesus, then Eddie. Eddie should be sold in the summer. Balogun is a much better striker. Eddie is championship level at best. Ooh,
listen,
that's harsh.
Number one, I think that's pretty disrespectful to Eddie.
It is.
Number two, any talk of Balogun about the end of the season should remain just that. We have to deal with what we've got now. And Eddie's very much part of what we have now. So let's back Eddie. Yes, he's not scored for a few games, but, you know, you can't fault him for effort.
Both good strikers. Both went away in the summer and worked really hard.
Exactly. And what we're seeing is even if Eddie's not scoring, the rest of the team are. And shout out to Eddie. I think he got an assist the other day. So when he came on, he did have an impact, which is what the manager would have wanted. So, yeah, fair play.
The next super chat, I love you lot, you know. I really do. I love you lot. You lot kill me. The next super chat name is Salt Bay Laurie. And do you want to see it? Do you want to see it? This is you here. Salt Bay Laurie.
Why is he calling me that?
He says Laurie makes reasoned points though. And there's someone I did say, I saw someone say,
because I called you, was it?
You called me Salt Bay Cecil, yeah, because I'm with
Why did I call you that? I forgot now.
Because I was with the Arsenal board and you're like, you look at you, because Salt Bay, my man, chasing. I'm not on the... I was in a bar and the Arsenal board were there. I didn't ruin it like Salt Bay did with the World Cup trophy and try to get photos with Messi.
I think people were being a bit harsh on Salt Bay in the World Cup.
What?
I mean, what did he do that was?
But he shouldn't be. Come on, though, bro.
Somebody invited him on there.
Nah, but he shouldn't be there, man.
I'm pretty sure he just didn't jump over the advertising hoardings and run.
No, of course he didn't. But
there were a number of celebrities on that pitch, and he was one of them. So
that's a moment in history. No, and that's for families and the players' families and all that. When you look back and they say, who's this guy? He's a man that owns a restaurant that does this. Stupid.
Yeah, and all them man probably celebrated by eating in one of his restaurants. But anyway, it's not about Salt Bay.
Let's digress from that conversation.
It's about Gabriel Jesus.
Salt Bay Laurie, man. Yeah.
But listen, man, if that's a compliment, I'll take it.
Yeah, you make reasoned points.
Yeah, I'll take it.
We'll take it. Okay. We've got another super chat here from Aston.
I've been called worse.
He has actually. Aston Mac TV. Aston, big up. Hopefully see you in the summer. I'm hearing Arsenal's not going to Australia. This is what's the word? Speculating. Is that what they say? Or allegedly. Allegedly they're not going to Australia. They're going to America for their preseason tour again. This is what I'm hearing. Don't quote me on it. It's not confirmed, but it's what I'm hearing. So Aston.
Well, I'm pretty sure wherever they go, AFTV will be there.
Well, we'll be there, 100% in full effect. Aston Mac TV with a super chat says, if we buy Musiala, I love him, by the way. What a player. Him, Jude Bellingham, and Adeyemi. Cold. Arsenal have the top 5 scorers under 21 in Europe. Edu, get it done. Big up both. See you at the parade. You're going to fly over. See, that's the energy, though.
That's the energy that you want.
See you at the parade. That's what I'm saying. People, I know it can be shameless. It can be jinxing it, as some of these fans say. Stop all that, you know.
I think you have to caution against arrogance. And I don't think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, if I've said anything on this show that is arrogant, I don't think I have. What I've expressed is confidence and self-belief. And that's what I want the fans and the players to show. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There is a thin line, of course, between being confident and overconfident, so we don't want to overstep that mark. But we should... I think we're entitled to be confident, Cecil. This is what I'm trying to say. This is 25 games in. It's not 5 games in. You know, sometimes when, you know, when there's 5 games into the season, a team's won all 5 games, and, you know what I mean, you get fans talking about winning the title. Yes, it's far too early then. But I don't think it's too early now. I honestly don't.
It still feels early. I'll be honest.
We're entering the home straight, though.
Yeah, we're coming around the bend.
We're entering the home straight.
We're at the top of the bend.
Okay, and we have a lead. So the end is in sight, right?
Almost, yeah.
And we come round that corner and you can see the finishing line and you've got a decent lead over your second and thirds. You've got to be confident.
I hear that. And listen, it's 19 years without a Premier League title. 19 years. So
absolutely.
Even if you don't feel like you have a right to be confident, enjoy it. It's been a fucking long time. I know we haven't won anything yet. I'm aware of that.
No, that's a good point you made there. The emphasis is on enjoying it.
Yeah. Enjoy where you are. And that's always
because I think it's fair to say that when you play your best football or any sport, when you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
So
100%. And do you know what? That was the reason for the top at Christmas, because for the whole month we was top of the Premier League. It wasn't the fact that I thought we was going to win the league. It was because we was at the top for a month and I wanted to celebrate that. I wanted to enjoy the moment. It just got taken by the internet and let them have their fun with it.
Well, there is a special significance of being on top of the league at Christmas because so we keep being told is whoever is on top of the league at Christmas normally go on to win the title.
That's also very true.
So that's a landmark reached, isn't it?
Aston Mac TV with a comment came back and said, "Little birds told me they'll be in DC and LA in the summer." Let's hope that is the truth, because I'm already over in the USA in the summer anyway, so that could work out very, very, very well. So yeah, but like Laurie said, whatever it is, we'll be there over there covering it. Regardless, we are coming towards the end of the show, but I did want to highlight, this was in the news today, Aaron Ramsdale, Save of the Month, was voted Save of the Month in the Premier League, by the Premier League, sorry. Ramsdale's save against Villa. Now, for some reason, it's not that's not computing, but it's not at the forefront of my mind. It might be the one when he spread his legs and he did, like, you know, he calls it the octopus save. But yeah, he got voted Save of the Month. And also, if you go on the Arsenal, I believe, Twitter and socials, they're trying to vote for Player of the Month for February. Quickly, who's been let me run through the games quickly, but your favourite player of the month of February. Let me just run through some of the matches. I think I probably know who you're going to say. But let me just quickly run through. Everton, we lost 1-0 away. We drew 1-1 against Brentford, sorry. We lost to City. Well, February wasn't a good month. We lost to City in the Cup. What was that? Yeah, we lost to City in the Cup. That was 3-1. We beat Aston Villa 4-2, obviously, when we came back and scored the two last-minute goals. Beat Leicester 1-0, and then that was the month of February. So there's a month.
No, don't forget the 4-0 the other day.
Yeah, but that was March.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was March. That was yesterday. So yeah,
okay.
But a player a player for you that stood out just in the month of February, just quick before we.
Oh man, there's been a number. But I'd probably have to say Saka.
So yeah, I thought you'd say Saka. I think a lot of people would say Saka. Star boy, little chili. I don't like chilies anymore, but yeah, big him up. But yeah, that's interesting.
The reason why I say Saka is because I'm just so impressed with this guy, because he's a very young guy, and the pressure just doesn't seem to reach him at all.
Yeah.
And there have been games, it's fair to say, when he's not been at his best over the whole course of the game.
Yeah.
But then he will pop up and do something significant, score a goal and assist. And when you consider as well that the amount of teams out there that are double teaming this guy, fouling him, chopping him to bits in some games, and he just invariably just laughs it off or just pops up with a goal. It's phenomenal what we're seeing, you know what I mean? So yeah, I would have to say Saka.
City was a league game. It was at home. I don't know why it slipped my mind, of course.
But in the last couple of games, man, Martinelli's has really come back strong.
Got a lot of respect for him, because he could have let, you know, the Trossards coming in rattle him. He could have let the links to Mudryk for that much money upset him. He could have sulked, but no, he just like a player we should expect, just got his head down and said, okay.
Well, he recently signed a new contract for the club.
Yeah, true.
And then, like you said, he got left out. But he's come back strong in the last couple of games, and he's definitely an important part.
Yeah.
Of the Arsenal team. So yeah, long may it continue.
100%. Well, let's kind of end on that. But I will just read some of the nominees that people put in the comments, because I didn't have one for myself. I didn't want to go Bukayo Saka because Laurie did. But Gabriel Magalhaes, I see a lot of people saying Gabriel was colossal.
Oh yeah,
Gabriel Magalhaes stood out massively. I have to give him a shout. He's been superb. Over the month of February and
That's
yesterday.
A good shout, you know.
He's up there. I know Matthew Lee says Jorginho, a guy that proved me wrong. I would have put him in there, but for me, I think it goes to Gabriel Magalhaes, because everyone was raving about Saliba so much in the start of the season when we kicked off, and that was the main name everyone spoke about, the best young defender, whatnot. But Gabriel really, after being criticised, having the bozo gene and has a mistake in him, just quieted all the noise by having such superb performances.
I think where Gabriel's game's improved is that he was always that guy in terms of being a defender that loves a tackle.
Yeah.
Brave, strong, physical, loves a tackle. I think the only slight drawback with him earlier on in the season was that he was making the odd mistake because he could be a bit impulsive.
Yeah.
So if the ball's there to be won, he's going to do his best to try and win it. I think now what you're seeing is a bit more maturity.
Yeah.
That split second thinking time to think, okay, I don't need to go slide it in. I can just shadow the guy. You know what I mean? Just my presence can unsettle him. I can nick the ball. He's making more interceptions now. He's just reading the game a bit better, and that comes with experience. But absolutely says so. I do agree with you. In fact, on the watch along we did the other day against Everton, I did shout him out for special attention and said that he was possibly my man of the match.
Definitely. And I think
he has improved commensurately.
Massively. Oh, commensurate. Oh,
hey, man.
Wow. Big words and that. Anyway, right, people, that is it for today's live. Laurie, thank you so much for joining me.
No worries, man. It's been a pleasure. I love it.
Always good to chop up with you. Big up, everyone. Please like this video. Why not? There's 2,349 of you in here. Like it. Get it to 1,000. It's very simple. Press a like.
And before we end, I just want to say a big shout out to my cousin Richard. He's in hospital in Watford at the moment. He's going for a bit of a hard time, very ill. He's a big Arsenal fan. He's a big fan of AFTV, and he's also my cousin. So I wish him well on behalf of the family and everyone there.
Yeah, AFTV. Me as well. I wish him well as well. I hope he recovers okay and back to full strength.
So, yeah.
Big him up. But yeah, please like the video. Like the video if you think Arsenal are going to win the league. That's all I'm going to say to end that. And make sure you check out all the content coming your way here on AFTV. Subscribe if you're new. And guys, we'll see you again very soon. Take care.
Respect.